Hey, my name is Lauren Rush, and today I want to tell you and inform you about why Can-Am is better than Polaris. Can-Am was introduced in 1937 when Joseph Bombardier got his first patent. He had had the idea about producing Can-Ams for about 10 years before that. Everybody told him he couldn't produce them, that he was not going to go anywhere, that his idea was stupid. Well, in 1937, he got his very first patent. In 1942, BRP, which stands for Bombardier Recreational Products, opened their doors. They started producing Ski-Doos and Sea-Doos. They hadn't really thought too much about ATVs, which are all-terrain vehicles. So in 1947, BRP launched their first mass production. They were producing about 1,000 bikes per month, as in Sea-Doos, Ski-Doos, ATVs. Well, in 2003, the ATV production starts. Well, that's when they started producing their mass production of the ATVs. One of the reasons that Can-Am is better than Polaris, which exceeds Polaris, is their security system. It's called the DESS, and it stands for the Digitally Encoded Security System, and it utilizes their electronic key. Their electronic key will only start one bike. They have a black key and a gray key. The black key is their performance key, and the gray key is a limited performance key. So if you have children, you can give them the gray key and they can't go over 15 miles per hour. And when you have an adult on the bike, you can give them the black key, and that is for the unlimited performance. To get another key, you have to bring proof of ownership to their Can-Am dealership, and it has to be a certified Can-Am dealership with the DESS system. It prevents the theft about 90%, and Polaris doesn't have a system like that. They just have the ignitions, and you can order an ignition offline, and that's so much easier for somebody to steal. So Can-Am definitely exceeds Polaris in that general. Another reason is the computer system, which is called BUDS. It's a BRP utility and diagnostic system, and it aids in programming keys, and it helps diagnose problems in that unit. It also pinpoints the exact problem, so the certified mechanic can figure out the problem. The computer system figures out the problem, and the certified mechanic will figure out the best route to go about solving your problem. Polaris uses a system similar to that, but it doesn't have all the luxuries that Can-Am offers with their BUD system. Another thing that Can-Am offers is their Visco lock, and that's their four-wheel drive system. Their four-wheel drive system operates off of fluid pressure, and Polaris uses the unreliable magnets. So the Visco lock also applies more power to the front wheel that's on the ground with the most traction, and then it reduces the power to the wheel with the less traction that's not on the ground, and that therefore it decreases the axle breakage and doesn't strain your axles so much, so no popping, no braking. Can-Am has a double A-arm setup, and it utilizes a trailing arm setup in the rear, and this allows the rear tires to individually keep constant contact with the ground, once again decreasing axle breakage. Can-Am's power steering system surpasses Polaris by a long shot also, and it's called their Tri-Mode DPS, which is their dynamic power steering system. Tri-Mode stands for the system, the settings that they have, and their settings are medium, minimum, and maximum. So Polaris only has one power steering setting. So if you ride in the mud a lot or you go trail riding, that Tri-Mode DPS system is essential to the hardcore riders. Can-Am offers a Rotax engine. Rotax engine produces massive power, and it also requires the least amount of maintenance. It has the most horsepower in all their respective classes. The Can-Am Rotax motor also comes in 1,000, 800s, 650s, 500s, 450s, and 400s. The 1000 engine is 39% more fuel efficient than any other leading brand, therefore putting Can-Am in the lead spot with fuel efficiency. The 800 Can-Am rises above Polaris with 71 horsepower and 799 cc's. Polaris only has 760 cc's and 54 horsepower. Can-Am also produces a mud-ready machine. It's called the XMR. It comes in the Maverick XMR and the Outlander XMR. It has a radiator relocator, 30-inch silverback tires, 14-inch wheels, a worn winch that is pre-wired and already installed, and a heavy-duty front bumper in case you need to pull somebody out or winch yourself to something. Their XMRs, their mud-ready machines, are the best choice, and you get more bang for your buck. So instead of paying for a bike that has none of the stuff that XMRs offer, you can go buy an XMR and it has everything that you need to be mud ready. You can take it from the shop to the park. The Can-Am XMRs also have a ½ an inch more ground clearance. So ½ an inch isn't much to some people, but if you're an avid mud rider, it's everything. The rack capacity for the Can-Ams surpasses Polaris once again. The Can-Ams offer 200 pounds and the Polaris only offers 140 pounds. The Can-Am also offers a turbo XDS, and it's the first factory installed turbo with 121 horsepower. So with only Can-Am being on the market since 2003, they've competed against bigger, more experienced and more time, and others producing work for 40 to 50 years. Can-Am has risen to the top, defeated in all odds, and dominated the off-road market. Thank you so much for coming. Also, my sites were brp.com, canam.brp.com, and utvguide.net. Thank you.
Good job.